this is our Swarthmore Borough Council October 13th, Tuesday legislative session. So welcome. First, I want to do a roll call. Mr. Carey?
Here.
Ms. McKinney? Lauren?
Sorry, here.
Okay. Mr. Schmucky?
Here.
Ms. Graydon?
Here.
Ms. Larson?
Here.
And I think Dr. Gajewski is still not with us quite yet. So we're going to get started without her. I don't think she'll be late. She was just running home from downtown Swarthmore. So public comment. Is there anyone here from the public who would like to make a comment on anything to council? Now is your time. Susan Kelly, did you want to say anything this evening?
Just to remind people about the tour on Saturday, the park tour.
Can you just give us the details?
Saturday.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Borough Council.
Yeah.
Jane, Marty, Bob, if you want it, Bob Scott, if you'd like to come, please join us. 1 o'clock. Andrew Bunting is leading a tour.
Is this rain or shine?
This will be shine, and rain date is Sunday at the same time, 1 o'clock. Meet at on the Crescent Avenue side.
Masks and social distancing?
Masks and social distancing, comfortable shoes, wear your parka. It's supposed to be chilly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, then we're going to go over to consideration of our council meeting minutes for September 21st and October 5th. Hopefully, you've all had a chance to send over what Betsy what Betsy sent over to all of us. She would like to amend the October 5th minutes to clarify something she said during the council meeting. So I'm sorry, Susan, did you want to say something? Nope. Okay, why don't we do this? Could I have a motion for approval of the September 21st meeting minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Betsy. And is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Sarah. All in favor of approving the September 21st, 2020 council meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. So, Bob, I guess I'm asking you this question. Should we have a motion for the meeting minutes for October 5th as circulated by Jane, and then Betsy moves to amend them? Or should we just start with Betsy making a motion to amend the minutes to include her suggested change?
Start with a second. Let's just have one motion that way, if it's successful.
Okay.
But yeah, just a motion to adopt the minutes with the change Betsy circulated.
Okay, Betsy, can you make that motion?
What he said.
Okay, Betsy Larson is making a motion to approve the October 5th, 2020 meeting minutes with her proposed revision that she circulated to all of you earlier. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Lauren. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes, and the October 5th meeting minutes, as amended by Betsy, are approved. All right, here comes Jill. All right, Jill?
Aye.
Hello. We just approved the meeting minutes, so we were able to do it without you. I doubt you're upset, correct?
Not a bit.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Nice background.
Oh, my background?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, that's my porch. Thank you. I keep trying to go where the light works here. It's hard to find a lit up spot. Okay, so we approved the meeting minutes. So the only public Jill, was Susan Kelly reminding us about the Little Crum Creek Park event Saturday
Thank you.
at 1 p.m. All right. Environment, Lauren.
Hi, we have no report and we are not meeting in October.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Finance, Michael.
Yes, a couple of things tonight. Going to go over the financial report through the month of September. Basically, things are going pretty much as expected to slightly better. And the cash balance at the end of September was $1,708,613. And essentially, we're targeting for the end of the year that we talked about this number before, kind of 5 to 10% of revenues as the ending balance for the end of the year in terms of the general fund. We do, as of right now, are projecting a fairly significant shortfall next year, so some of that's going to go away. But obviously the budget is not complete for next year, so we don't know what the magnitude of that is yet. And with negotiations and other things still going on, that is a fluid situation. And we will be meeting this month. I forgive. I'm sorry to say that I don't remember. I know my times got changed. I think it's next Tuesday, but I could be wrong. Maybe Jane can correct me on that. Is that right? A week from today? So we will.
Yeah, third Tuesday at 7:30.
Okay, so we will be meeting on the 20th at 7:30 to continue the budget discussions. All are welcome. That's all I have for the financial report through the month of September. Are there any questions? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to move on to the wire transactions and bills to pay. I'll start with the wire transactions for the month of September. I would like to make a motion to approve wire transactions for the month of September 2020, totaling $833.35 for loan repayments.
Second.
Thank you, Ross. Is there any discussion or any questions for Michael? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion passes.
Okay, going to move on to open invoices for the month. I would like, hopefully everyone's had a chance to review the various invoices through October 7th. I'd like to make a motion to approve invoices totaling $584,310.56.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ross, thank you. Any discussion or questions about the bills for Michael? All right, don't seem to be any. All in favor of this motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes.
That's all I have. Just again, next Tuesday, the 20th at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom.
Great. Thank you very much, Michael. Okay, Sarah, general government.
So, a couple of things. So we are meeting next week on Monday, the 19th at 7:30. A couple of things on the agenda from we talked about it a little bit last week, but then also new items are to be considered are parklets, not if they will remain, but basically if there will be any more action taken to maybe standardize them or work on something for more long-term. Since they are going to be more longer term, we want to make sure that it's done fairly and all of that. And there have been some concerns that have been brought to my attention. So we'll be considering some of that on next Monday. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Halloween house decorating contest. So the details are being planned. It's very last minute, and so they're trying to scrap everything together, but I'd like to make a motion now to allocate $175 from the general fund to be used as prize money for the decorating contest. So I make that motion. Who's second? Thanks.
Is that Lauren? Oh, Jill. Jill seconded. Thank you. Any discussion or questions for Sarah?
Yeah, I do. Just about the propriety of allocating this money for this purpose. This holiday, I'm all for Halloween. We'll have our decorations out. I'm just not sure that the government should be allocating money for this this particular holiday. Sarah, you and I have talked about this thing. I pointed you to private resources, and I'm totally supportive of that, but I'm not supportive of the government putting money behind it.
We did ask Bob this question.
That's okay. I'm not saying it on a legal basis. I'm saying
Right. So we asked.
I would just point out their borough code does authorize you to appropriate money from the general fund for civic celebrations and holidays. So.
Right, and so I guess the argument here that I'd like to make is that, this is a unique time in which we're trying to kind of keep the community spirit going, and we don't know about trick-or-treating or all of those things, so this is a way to celebrate this holiday, and I do know that neighboring townships and boroughs are doing the same thing, and they're actually getting money from their general funds for the same prize money. So, it's a practice that is happening elsewhere, and I think it would be good to happen here. And our businesses right now are struggling, so they're not as able as usual to donate.
I'm not trying to argue. I just want to. The other thing is about, in addition to the government, I'm not that down with the idea of teaching children about making Halloween competitive. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments? Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm a little wary of it, but given the all the circumstances that Sarah mentioned, I would vote for it, but I'm a little bit hesitant just in general, but it's not very much money, and hopefully next year everything will be normal maybe.
So the money is prize money?
Right. So the way we're just kind of copying a little bit about what other towns are doing, and they're doing gift cards. So the gift cards are to be determined yet for what they're going to be, but what I think that it's like $100 for the first prize, second prize 50, third prize 25, and I'm trying to work it out right now to figure out how we can support local businesses with these gift cards and things like that. But that's going to be discussed also in committee and general government to figure out exactly where that will go.
Yeah, there is something that feels a little uncomfortable about attaching money to it. I think in a community like ours, having a design competition and coming in, first or second place, even without necessarily getting prize money, but maybe a mention in the Swarthmore or, council meeting, something like that. Was that considered? Because I feel like that, I'm not sure what impact the money adds in our community.
I mean, that's just what's being done everywhere else, and so I don't know if our community is that, different than other Providence and other places, but if everybody doesn't feel like it's appropriate to be giving money prizes, then we can move forward with other ways. But I'd like to be able to allocate this for that.
I think my concern is just if these are going to be gift cards for businesses, we can't choose a business here. We can't pick one over the other.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. I think what we were going to talk about in committee. I had approached Anita just asking if we could do like a general gift card for town center, and have them, but she said that they haven't been able to do that for a while. So those details are still being worked on. I think if we would like to pass this with the intent, I was thinking that if we couldn't come to terms with any of that, then it would just be like a Visa gift card. But I know that we wouldn't really want to favor one business over the other. I feel like that wouldn't be appropriate. So I understand if that's what you're saying, I understand.
Yeah, we can't like pick
Right.
a restaurant and not something else. It would have, yeah.
Right, that would have to be like, if there was a gift card to a restaurant, that would be because they donated the gift card money. Yeah, we wouldn't be paying them.
Right.
I think I better recuse myself from the vote. In principle, I'm in favor of this as a concept and an idea, but because I am a business owner, I wasn't clear on that aspect of it. So that's what I'm going to do.
So do I need to find another second for this if she's recusing herself?
I think so.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Maybe, do you just want to state again what your motion is, Sarah?
Sure. So I'd like to move to allocate $175 from the general fund to be used as prize money for the Halloween house decorating contest.
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Any further questions or comments about this before we put it to a vote?
Sorry, I do have one more thought. There used to be like a Swarthmore Bucks program. Somebody gave my kids some for a birthday years ago, and they were on the fridge for years until I realized that nobody was taking them anymore. Is that program still in effect? Is that something we could tap into? Or?
No, it's not. It's been a while since that was in effect.
That would be good, though. That would be a perfect solution. I wish it was still going on.
Does anybody know why that died?
I never even
I don't know, it was all done by town center, so I don't really know.
It was, let me, since I was so rather closely involved in the whole thing, at that time, I think it was just too difficult to manage and to bookkeep, and I just think for that reason, there was nobody, when I left town center, I think there was nobody there that really felt they wanted to pick it up again. So it was, we had it in place for probably about 8 years, and then it just, it stopped, primarily, I think, for bookkeeping and administrative reasons rather than anything else.
Any other questions or comments before we vote? Okay, not hearing any, and Jill's going to recuse herself. All in favor of allocating $175 to prize money, gift cards, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oppose.
Opposed.
Okay, now I have to do math in my head here. So what did we have? We had 3 in favor and 2 opposed. Is that where we ended up? Or no, we had 4 in favor?
And 1 abstention.
1 abstention. 4 in favor, 2 opposed, 1 abstention. So it passes.
Well, thank you. And if we can't work out the way the gift card money will go, if it doesn't seem to work out in committee, then would I just allocate it back? Then we just won't use it, So I just want to let you all know that, your concerns were heard and we're going to work it out in committee. And if it doesn't work out in committee, I think that we just won't use the money, but we'll let you know.
Okay.
And I think, even if we don't use the money, I think that we could still, I agree with other incentives, like a picture of the Swarthmorean, although I don't know if I can offer that. I have to talk to the Swarthmorean about that. But, some other incentives. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so you are meeting. Is there anything else, Sarah?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Okay. All right, no problem. Thank you very much. Planning and zoning, Betsy.
Planning and zoning will not be meeting this month. However, I do need to speak to something that happened in session last week. We heard from about half a dozen members of our community, our neighbors, who, as a result of a careless comment that was made by a council member in public meeting, felt that their opinions, their voices essentially, on a matter of deep importance to them had not been heard, treated with respect, nor considered with equal import to other issues that we address here, or equally to the voices of others. They received no public response, and I find that kind of unacceptable. Having a say and being heard are two very different things, so it isn't really my apology to make, but as the committee chair, I take responsibility that it occurred in my meeting, and so I would like to issue belatedly an apology to those citizens for the offense and disrespect they experienced. I also hope that we will each take this as a caution to hold ourselves to a higher standard and to be careful of how we speak and how we behave as representatives and legislators for this community. We sit here at the mandate of our community to represent our community fairly and with as little bias as possible. Regardless of how you may personally feel about the process that we went through around the subdivision issue that was before us, what the citizens of our community did, how they responded and showed up to defend against what they experienced as a threat to their homes and to our community was real representative democracy in action, and I, for one, was impressed and inspired. I also didn't get a chance to publicly thank them for their efforts, diligence, and professionalism in presenting their concerns and responses. I believe this was a model for how we should all behave in a democracy. They were calm, they were clear, and they were persistent. So I'm also going to say thank you to a group of citizens who I believe demonstrated what democracy actually looks like. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone have any comments? All right, hearing none. And you said you're not meeting, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Okay, thank you, Betsy. All right, then we're going to move on to public safety. Jill.
Hi, I have no report this week, and I believe we will be meeting, it's October 26th at 7 p.m. by Zoom. It should be a short meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ross, Public Works.
I gave my report last time, so no new report. And we will be meeting the usual time, Thursday, October 22nd, 8:30 in the morning. That's it.
Great, thank you. Mr. Macker.
All right, I'm unmuted. Thank you, Ray. Just to reiterate real briefly, something that we discussed last week and that people may still have some questions about, just to remind the public that Borough Council essentially is not taking a specific stance on Halloween and trick-or-treating. We're asking people to exercise all necessary precautions and safety to protect both yourselves and your neighbors. And I just want to tell people that don't want to participate, they should feel fully appropriate not to participate in trick-or-treating this year. We can understand why. And relative to that, numbers in Delaware County are starting to move in the wrong direction. We have to retain a level of diligence about COVID. It's not going to go away unless we do the things that need to be done to make it go away. So if we don't want to be in the same situation for the rest of the winter, I just ask people to please exercise the necessary precautions. Everybody should know at this point what they are. But they're listed on the borough website. All the COVID and CDC guidelines are linked there. Jane also was kind enough to put a link to the Chester County Health Department's recommendations on how to have a safe Halloween. So if people have questions about what they might do relative to things other than trick-or-treating or how to trick-or-treat safely, if you go onto the borough website, there is a link to the Chester County Health Department, and they've issued kind of a pretty concise little report about how people can celebrate the holidays but celebrate in safety. So that's really all I have to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marty. Thank you. Borough Manager, Jane.
Last week's meeting I did go over that tree contract, and if somebody could make a motion and a second, we will get that advertised for next year's tree removal.
So it's a motion to advertise.
Correct.
Okay.
I move
Ross has made the motion.
to advertise the contract that we published at the last meeting.
And I believe Lauren seconded. Lauren, thank you. Any discussion or questions on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Betsy, did you vote?
I did.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you. Okay, just checking. All right, so motion passes. Can be advertised. Thank you.
And then just a couple things on the manager's report. As is happening in a lot of communities, people are home, they're recycling more, there's more trash. And so we're seeing an increase in both of those. We do pay to get rid of both our recyclable material and our regular trash. So we'll probably be a little bit over budget in both of those categories. I don't think that will continue when people are back at work, although of course we don't know when that will be. There is a pending subdivision and land development application. It will be before the Planning Commission at their meeting on Wednesday, October 21st. It's just a lot line change, but in Pennsylvania, even a lot line change requires approval of the minor subdivision. So after it goes to the Planning Commission, it's also at the Delaware County Planning Commission, it will be reviewed by council. That should be before you in November. Just the last thing I wanted to mention on those meetings I attended, I don't know if you remember, probably 4 months ago, Mary signed a letter and the council at the urging of the EAC joined the Swarthmore Community Program, and we're starting to do some work with them. The Planning Commission is going to look at some changes to the zoning code, probably the subdivision code, and we're looking at some changes in our application procedures for building permits. So it's kind of exciting to work with them. They're very helpful in sort of seeing the process through. So hopefully we'll start to show you some of that stuff soon. I think the Planning Commission is going to start their discussion at that meeting in October on that. And I think that's all I have.
Great. Thank you very much, Jane. Mr. Solicitor.
Thanks, I don't have anything to report tonight.
Very good. Is there any other business that any member of council would like to bring up?
Mary Ann, can I just add one more thing to my report?
Yes.
There's also been some reports, an increase in reports of cars being broken into. Actually, cars they're not being broken into. Their doors are being opened because most of them are being left unlocked. So I just urge residents to please lock your cars even when they're in the driveway and even when they're in the garage, because folks are getting pretty bold right now. So just to protect everybody and to cut down on these incidents, if people would just remember to lock their cars, and hopefully I don't have to remind people to please lock their houses too when they go out. So unfortunately we live in these times, and those are the kind of precautions even those of us in Swarthmore need to take. So thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Okay, anything else? Other business? Not hearing any other business, I'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Michael, on it. Second, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jill. All right, good night, everybody. We'll see you in November, if not.
Good night, Mary.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.